All right, hey folks, we're gonna do some artwork this morning. Give me a second here to check my signal, make sure that we are live, and then we'll get to work. So first checking in on my signal here on my channel. This takes less than a minute, so if you're catching this in the future, you can skip forward if you want. Less than a minute, so if you catch this in the future. Okay, yeah, so sound is there, good, and let's drop that down to a level that's not gonna get in the way. Let's grab the social media post link here real quick. Just gotta hit the socials, and then we'll get started. Click, click, boom. All right, we're up and running. Hey, my name is Karrnath. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, I publish them online, and we're creating an adventure for the Eberron campaign setting called Crystals of Mabar. You can see here on screen. It's for characters 7th and 8th level. You're basically fighting undead necromancers and demons in the Cairnwood of Karrnath on the continent of Purver. And right now we are creating the a splash page of landscape art for after you've defeated the undead and restore peace and happiness to the community. We are illustrating peace and happiness. So if you think this stuff is cool, I stream 9 times per week, Monday through Friday in the morning. We do artwork Monday and Thursday nights like last night, and Tuesday and Friday lunches like today. We do 5e game design. So like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Holy shit. Hey, thanks a lot, guys, for new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys taking an interest in the work that we're doing here. Here's a bunch of books that I've already published on the DMsGuild. They all have free previews. Check them out. Here's the full playlist of all 506 episodes of us creating assets for this adventure. Maps, tokens, creatures, page art. It's all in here. Here's my social community, my social media channels to join the community. And let's, I guess, without any further ado, I'll drop this down here and we'll get to work. So picking up my art pen here. Like I said at the end of the stream yesterday, I wanted to add some darker forest to help separate the mid-ground where the homestead cottages are at from the mountain backdrop. But I think I'm just about where, yeah, we're adding in door frames and stuff now. So I'm gonna drop these in, and then we're going to make shutters and stuff for that to lay over it. Right now we're over here working on these. There we go. Drop it here, and so we're just gonna see if we can get these things blocked in efficiently. And once we do, we'll start moving into the mid-ground fields to start establishing the wildflowers and high grass. So just to remind folks, it's a 16 by 9 format, so it sits on your page. If you're looking, if you're full screening the YouTube there, you can see here it fits in the 16 by 9 format of cell phones, tablets, and computer monitors. Obviously, if you're watching YouTube, you have access to one of those. The font size that we use is a 12-point font. This is only the horizontal layout, but each column is also 16 by 9 format. So, and it's a 12-point font. So you may well be able to read all of this right now in this format. Google won't do it properly, but if I were to tilt it upright, it would basically expand size to something roughly like this. So you'd be able to, in the horizontal alignment, look at each individual column separately. If you're forced to on your phone, you'd then be able to read each of them pretty easily. If I can read this with my blind eyes, surely you can as well. So I'm really happy with this format. And so, but it creates these opportunities for us to make these really cool landscapes with a lot of good detail in them. And so this and a number of other positions throughout the adventure are going to have opportunities for splash pages like this, and My muse wants me to do more Bob Ross art in this adventure to help create more of an environmental feel. Plus, I don't get fatigued from making Bob Ross paintings, and this has been a very long production process that is at risk of fatigue. So it's good that there's opportunities for me to shift gears and do some landscape illustrations for a while to keep morale high. Off screen, I'm layering in maps onto pages and doing corrections so that when we finish this piece, we'll be able to move forward to the next block, and hopefully by the time I get done with the illustrations that we're doing in the series, off screen I'll have all the maps in place for all the pages, and it'll start, the time frames will start collapsing to be able to have this thing ready to go by, like, say, September. So, hey, what's going on, Fox? No sound? Hey, what's going on, Fox? No. What do you mean no sound? I've got sound. I can hear. That's I've got sound. I can hear. That's no sound. Check. That's no mic sound. Check. See, check. I've got sound. So I don't know where yours is at. That's on your end. There we go, buddy. But hey, I don't mind you checking in. Never mind you checking in. Everyone can shit chest me on both my gear and my mentality and ideas about game design. You are always welcome to question where am I at and do I have my head screwed on straight. That is allowed. So thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. I'm like, what? But sometimes my cord fritzes out on my microphone. That's happened in Discord when I'm running a game. So it's not beyond the realm of possibilities that it would short. I'm gonna do that, and then we're just gonna put in a little thing up here. I don't have to do crazy details on this. It's already pretty well detailed. I'm just filling these in. Just for the subtle details of it. Straighten that box out there a little bit. And then we're going to put the frames on these. I think we might lighten the wooden boards. Doesn't need to be facing that way. We're gonna do a frame over here like that. In grand scope of things, this isn't a very important detail, but I want to have it there just because it's a detail. If someone goes looking for it, I want it to be found. That really isn't important. It's just little details, you know. The little details sell the story, as Samuel L. Jackson would tell you in Reservoir Dogs 2. It's the details that sell the story. Then you got to think about, like, what details are actually important versus which ones are just wasting time, and that's on the composer to decide, you know, how well am I developing this thing. But when we're all said and done, it feels pretty good. Those windows are too high. There we go. Still too high. Bring that shit down, Kearney. Hey, what's up? Why am I Mr. Pink? Guess you're fucking Mr. Pink. Now I'm Mr. Green. No, you're Mr. Black, you're Mr. White, you're Mr. Pink. Now shut up. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. No, you don't get the switch. I'll be Mr. Pink. I don't care. It's like, no, you're Mr. Pink. It's the end of the debate. So much fun. Da, da, da. There we are. So we finally got through all of the classes and subclasses redesigns for the martial power system on stream last night. I am very happy about that. Today, when we do our lunchtime design, we'll be reviewing and reprising the Strixhaven and Ravnica backgrounds to make sure that they're fitting the format of 5e24 in general. And I feel like one there is going to be fine. I don't think I'll get through all. I think I could probably get through Ravnica today. And then on Thursday, when we continue doing design work, Thursday night, we'll probably get through Strixhaven and maybe into Theros. And then, oh, that's right. It's a July 4th weekend, so I won't be on stream on Friday. Maybe I'll be on stream on Friday morning, but I won't be around for lunch. It's a holiday. I have opportunity to hang out with friends and family. I'm certainly going to take advantage of the opportunity and break my normal schedule to do so. Because fam is important. Gotta do that. Let's go here. So it'll be a shorter week than usual because of the holiday in America. There we go. That feels pretty good. And now we're going to let's go take a look at a reference real quick, just to yeah, I think I want to have darker slats. So we're going to spend a few minutes here on reconsidering. That's way too light, but we can do that for now. Let's do some of this. Let's just do some quick whitewashing here. Let's see if this turns out looking okay. And then we can fade it. We can drop the opacity to make it fade into the background a little bit. This is what, 3-point pixel? Such a thin brush. That. Let's drop the opacity just a bit already. Something down like that. And here. And then here. There, yeah, that immediately feels better. So let's erase there. Thank you, Timely Timer. That's our timer, making sure we stay on track. And then, what is that? Let's drop it down to a flat 60. 60%, there we go. And then we're gonna do another layer on top of it here. I'm gonna put it underneath. Again, another 60%. 1 second, I'll catch up with you. So, that house wanted to be Mr. White, and I think... That's great. I got your picket fence right here. Let's drop this down to 60% as well to match tone with the rest of the building. There we go. Too funny, Fox. I'm gonna erase at this just a little bit with a faded eraser, just to blend it a little bit in behind the grass. I'm gonna blur this a little bit. Then adjust. Pockmark that a little bit, just to fade it down some, and then blur it in. There we go. Just fatigue it a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to drop. I think I'm gonna have to drop the. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna have to drop the opacity a little bit more, I think. Let's first just get these set. In. And then erase it away. Take a low end eraser. I need my toolbox. Hold on. Did you bring your fucking tools? Too strong. There we go. Full erase again. Fix our frame. Cool. That and that. Both of these are too light. So it's at 60%. I think I want to drop it down to probably like around 40. 30%. There we go. So we'll put that at 30%. We'll put this at 50%, 40%, 20%, 30%. 30, 50, 40, 30. That should be good. All right, so let's sweep through the rest of these. This is at the 30% opacity, so ooh, where'd you go, buddy? We can do the same thing over here. Oh yeah, I immediately appreciate this decision. There, like that. And we need to push that down a little bit more. There, that feels good. This. I spy text in my eye. What's up? That was a fantastic sculpture. Yeah. Thank you. The reference that we're using, technically from here. So this is, I mean, they're using horizontal slats, which probably makes sense logistically, but all these buildings are a lot more whitewashed than what I was doing. So. And it's roughly the same as we're using for our floorboards in the buildings. So yeah, I just needed to stick. I was not conforming to the format I had already established in the maps, so I was breaking my own tenet, and so this is something that had to be done regardless. So it just happens to be panning out really nicely. So thank you. I appreciate confirmation. It's always appreciated. Here, get rid of that. I'm pretty happy with the roofs, though. I don't think I need to make any modification to those. Let's break our frame up a little bit here. Much better. All right, cool. And let's merge these layers. Take both of these to 100% and then merge them. And then drop them back down to 30%. And then we'll do this one at 40%. Have you thoughts about adding paths? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's the composition, and there's a country path here that leads in front of this house, through here, back along. So yeah, we're gonna have a little pathway, a little ground dirt path that runs through it. But it'll be super background. I don't even know if you're gonna see it after we lay in the wildflowers in the high grass, but we'll know it's there, and that's what's important. For what does poke through, it holds itself accountable. Let's up that to 4. Drop these in here. Drop these in here like this. Wrong building, Kearney. This one. So the pathing will be next. soon as I can get through these whitewashed boards, we will be. Got to finish the boards and then the door frames, and then and like doors and shutters and shit. So, but that's just gonna be that shouldn't take more than a few moments. God's willing. Actually, while I'm here, clean up those edges a snitch. Good. All right, back at it, boys. I have a pretty significant production traffic jam starting to back up behind this adventure. I need to get it done. I'm not going to disparage myself for however much time it may take to do it, because I don't want to rush the project, but boy, I am keenly aware of how much stuff wants to be produced. We've got like a Vocast Battle Crab for Spelljammer. We've got the Mecha Kaiju book for Spelljammer. We have subclasses for Spelljammer. We've got the Living Ship sidekick idea for Spelljammer. We have martial powers. We have Spellpoint sorcerers. We have probably Spellpoint scions. And then we also have like just converting the full core mechanics for the color mana system for 5e24. The Bastion campaign. What is that? 3, 4. That's 4 things for Spelljammer. 1, 2 extra spell. Oh yeah, I also want to do Spellpoint Artificers as a separate piece. So that's 3 separate Spellpoint books, converting all of the core mechanic stuff, which includes Eldritch Knights and Tricksters, like the Knights and Tricksters book, core mechanics. Elemental Key should probably be updated as well. That's like 9 books that I need to update or just finish, plus Bastions. Yeah, so that's like around 9 books that we've accumulated interest in producing after we finish this adventure. And oh boy, that's a lot of production, my guys. That's a lot of production we have lined up. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. It's just a matter of how quickly can I get to it. And I lament that, but I can't rush the process on any of this stuff. If I disrespect the production of this adventure, then I will be disrespecting the production of all the other supplements that come along after it. They all deserve their love. And it might take longer than I want it to. That's just how it is. Gotta respect the process. That's right, I want to hit this with a light eraser just to muck it up a bit. Gotta respect the process. Well, hey, if anything, that means we have content pretty much. We pretty much have a roadmap of content for the next year and a half, right? Adding pets. Yeah. Raise this a bit at the base. Oh, and then, yeah, that feels. I don't know, it feels a little sharper than it should be. Let's drop this one. Let's drop this one down to 35% instead of 30. Is that going to be sufficient? It still seems a little sharp. Okay, we'll leave it at 30% as well. Maybe we'll just do all these at 30%. Grab there's a blurriness to this edge over here that I don't think I'm appreciating. Where you at, dude? Hold on. Should fix it. Yeah. Why are you so... do I have like some sort of thing? Yeah, I've got a thing going on here. Zero. Get rid of that shit. It's fucking up my thing. Now, let's go back in. Fix this. Oh, I see what I did. There. That fixed the problem. Now we actually fixed the problem. Small detail, but it's important to me. Let's add in another barn door. Almost there. Stay on target. Hey, timely timer. Thanks for keeping time. What time is it? Oh my god, it's 6:45. That's it. Jesus. I got on early today. I got good rest last night. Really solid sleep. I've got the air conditioner going now here in Seattle. It's gotten warm enough that I want to have air conditioner on, and that machine just purrs me to sleep. We'll put a window in over here. Something for a horse to stick its head out and catch some breeze. I don't want to oversaturate this with detail. I can't have it so simple that it becomes like just a symbol. Like it has to be a real thing. But at the same time, I don't want to over detail it because distance is indicated by details, and if I overemphasize details on these things at afar, then I won't be able to. I don't think I'm going to have that risk in this particular piece, but I always want to be mindful of how much detail am I including at the distance, regardless of the resolution of the image and whether I can or not. Is it appropriate for the composition? And this is about as much detail for this composition that I can afford to include without disrupting what it is we're doing. I'm word pieing a little bit there, don't mind me. What's going on down here? Let's grab that, and then we'll drop this guy back down. That feels pretty good. All right, and then we'll do the final layer on this one here. We're at 4 pixels. I want to actually increase this one to 5. I don't have to worry about it dropping all the way to the ground or to the top because of the way that we're doing the faded planks. It's just gonna get smudged in anyway. So speaking of smudging in, let's get to work. There we go. And then we erase. Yeah, I'm going to erase all this front stuff here. That's right. Like that. Good. And here, erasing this. Erase, erase, erase. Break frame here. Here. Good. And then here. And here. And then here. And then back here. 50% like we anticipated. That feels pretty good. Add that in there. Too much of a gap. Raise the bits. Bottom here just to fade them in. Push up. Breaking frame here. We gotta drop in here and here. Nope. That here, this. Thank you. And here again. Good. And then here. Good enough. Here. Some more disruption happening here. Here. Erase that. Apparently we had done some marring on the wrong layer. Fix all that shit. Thank you. Then here. Good. And then we erase. Let's drop it down to 50%. Where it should be. There we go. And then we erase down into the frame. Let's smudge it up. Why are you acting so differently? There we go. Now you're behaving. Boy, all these little steps, they sure are obnoxious. But that's what we need to do to make the piece look good. So we do the work. Let's hit it with some pockmarking here just to fade it. Pockmarking over here. No, back off. There we go. That feels a lot better. All right, so let's put some let's board up some doors and windows. Say sure you're actually square. Fill that in. I don't think I want to texture these too much because I think this is going to be an unnecessary level of detail. But I think I do want to drop them down to a lower lower opacity. Get that. I just want to make sure these things are squared. Nope, wrong layer, Kearney. There we go. Let's see if this is sufficient. Seems good enough. Seems good enough. I don't think the lack of details along the base here is going to really matter that much once we once we start adding in the foreground fields and the pathing, I think this will all just kind of fold into itself. It should be okay. Do that. Reduce this a bit. There. I'm just gonna leave this one open. That's a large enough of a door that I think I need to do at least a little bit of detail on it. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of details on these barn doors. Not a lot, just a little. And then these, let's erase these down so they're more. Squared up. Spots in there. I'm not talking a lot today. Sorry about that. I'm kind of, I guess, focusing on these bits. All right, I'm gonna call those buildings done, so we can just be done with them. I don't think I need to do anything more with them anyway. They're good enough. Wait. Why she wants this, but the muse wants me to mess with these windows a bit. Just gonna do what I'm told. There. Okay, good enough. Hey, what's up?
Hey Ryan, how you doing? I did many one-off games with random on a VTT with a static map assets in the Fallout system. That was one group might blow up a gas station or make a settlement, and the next group came across it.
Oh, nice. So yeah, I like having living worlds as well. When I run a campaign, by the time they hit 20th level, they're going to end up making some sort of a change to the world, and then that change persists into the next campaign. So they have an ongoing record of how they've changed the world, campaign to campaign to campaign. It kind of just breathes more life into it, you know. Okay, cool. So now we're on a new layer. Let's go with. Just gonna call this one Pathways for now because I don't know what else to call it. Let's go grab our references here real fast. Take a look at our dirt road. Let's just grab a random dirt color. Oh, I got oil in my eye. You know what? This seems like I think we just hit it's 7 o'clock. So let me go ahead and take a quick sip. And chase it with some coffee. Let's see if we can find my eye is burning with oil. I guess I need to shower. But getting oil in my eye is probably coming from my hair, which means it's time for me to wash my hair. Let's take that off screen. Hide the text for now, we don't need it. Just blending off into the side. That's great. I love that. That feels good. This is absolutely the right decision. Trim that down. How you doing today, Ryan? Take that back like that. Yeah, I'm really not talking a lot today. Sorry about that, guys. I guess I'm just kind of in the pixels. It always makes me feel bad. It's not as entertaining if I'm not yammering about something. But sometimes I guess sometimes I have to concentrate on shit. Hate that. Hate that damn machismo. That feels pretty good. Let's trim it down a little bit so it's not kicking up too much. Oh, like a little suburb here. You got a little path and it goes into another. It's not just one path. How about that? That's kind of fun. I have to be really, really careful about scale and size of these paths because that's pretty far away. I don't want to overemphasize it, but I do like this break here though. That feels really good. It's all going to get covered over anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But we know it's there. We can see it. Some more coffee. Now let's drop the opacity on this a little bit. Just to fade it into the terrain. That feels pretty good. I like that. Okay, cool. So that's pathways. Which is technically part of the homestead, so we can... That also helps ground where the actual buildings are at on the surface. Okay, cool. So that is there. What's the next thing that we need to do? Let's look at our composition. Put our text back in for a sense of scale. Okay. So I think I want to put in some high grass back here, just to have a little bit of texture start forming in front of the buildings here, and then we'll start stacking that up. And it seems like about like right around here is when I really need to start focusing on wild grass and wildflowers and tall grass here. So we'll just add in some texture to break up the scenery back here, and then once we get down to this point, we'll start doing serious business. So okay, cool. I think that's a decent plan. We'll probably end up making this homestead as well, so we'll just call this for now, we'll just call this home grass. Oh, good point. What do we need to do? Okay, so what do we need to do to make this work? We don't have any examples of high grass in here yet, and this is the wrong biome. Forest is the wrong biome. So that means we get to go reference hunting. Let's go tulip fields to see if we like how this looks. I don't know. Oh God, eye just burns. Get out of my eye, oil. Thank you. How's this one look? Open, copy image. God, my eyes, excuse me for a second. Eyes are burning like hell. God, what is in my eye? What, did I find paprika oil or some shit? Jesus. Oh. Okay. I think that's got a lot of potential. Take it up here to the reference layer. Jesus. That's a lot of tulips, dude. How about this? It's a pretty ruddy grass. How about these? A lot. That's a sharp reddish purple. I want to do solid fields. I think I'll do like clumps of these. We'll have tall grass, and then we'll have like clusters of tulips among them. Just to be able to, I think that reddish purple pop is going to really look. I think that color is going to look really, really good against the sky and the mountain backdrop. I bet that's really complementary. I of course don't know. All I have is my RGB slider up here because I don't see any color. So I'm just guessing, but I'm guessing. See how the blue here is at 185, and we flip it. The red is at 185. The red and the blue aren't oversaturating each other. So I'm pulling from the sky, and we're getting this bluish, and now and when we flip it, it's the same level of saturation between the two. That's a good indication. That's a good color match. Looking at this one here, it's at 88 and dropping down here at 67. That's not a bad. That's not bad. I think those will be complementary. So definitely want to keep that reference. Let's go see if we can find another one. Let's do wheat field. Let's copy this image. Paste. No. Hey, what are you doing? Paste. Ooh, wow. That's a higher saturation than I think I want. How are we doing? It's probably not a bad idea though. $180 versus 185, 39 versus 88, 156, 112. That's pretty complimentary as well. So this is actually probably going to work too. So let's just fuck around and find out. Let's grab this mid. I want to grab more of a. That doesn't seem outrageous, but I think I want to drop down to a lower. Too dark. Not quite. Not. Oof. Almost. Hold on. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, we'll keep that. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if this shakes out. So how are we going to do this? Let's go with. Hold on, where is it? Yeah, let's go with our conifer foliage brush, and let's drop it down so it's thin like this. we'll just start over here. We be stippling, folks. As I move further and further away from the camera, I drop the size of it. We're experimenting right now. I don't know if this is the right solution or not, but it's where the muse is guiding me. So I generally trust her opinion on stuff. She rarely guides me wrong. Her whole job is to guide me right. That's the deal. She feeds me inspiration that works, and I give her the opportunity to feel it. That's the whole point of having physical biology, is to feel the chemical rush of emotions. What was it? The Max that said limitless pleasure is overrated. There has to be bad to feel good, and when you're in heaven, there's nothing but good. So you kind of lose perspective over time. So you have to have the opportunity to drop into suffering to be able to appreciate just how fucking good it is. At least that's the idea. We're going to go back to this brush, our tree line brush, as an eraser, and we're going to erase down. We're going to go with a 70% opacity eraser here, and I'm just going to tap at this. Why do I have an alarm going off? It's starting to feel good. All I gotta do is this like 1,000 times and we're done. So no time like the present to get started on 1,000 strokes. So here we go. Let's stroke out. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. I need this in a separate layer underneath that one. There we go. Well, thank you, Timely Timer. I'm going to actually push this one behind the homestead. Whew, that minutia. Front of it. Reset it a little bit. Another layer. And that's probably good enough. Play with that a little bit. Smudge it around a little. Just to blend it into the tarmac a smidge. Merge all those layers together. And then we'll pull on the collective. Bring that down. Erase along the bottom a little bit. I'm going to smudge it side to side just to ground it. And then we lift up, smudge around side to side, and then we lift up. Help add some density to it. Get out of here, GE Force. No one wants your downloads. Yes, please have an opportunity to not understand my machine and cause my whole shit to crash. I really am interested in that right now. Thank you. That's going to end up looking really, really, really good when we're done. So let's keep it up. No time like the present, all right? Tap, 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 tap. Tap and drag. I'm doing some light smudging. Blend this in. A 1,000 stipples. A little bit of erasing, a little bit of smudge. Take this. Make it do another layer here. The same thing as we did with the forest, except it's a different plant. But I mean, that's how plants work, so it's going to be a similar process. It's just logical. Erase the butt. Pull it up a little bit. Smudge it in. Erase at the bottom a little bit. Push up from the tarmac into the plants to help create that fade effect. And then we just layer, layer, layer. As many layers as we can possibly handle to add volume. So what I'll probably do is just run this session here, finish this out, and then off stream, probably later on tonight off stream, I'll go through and do more and more of this so that I don't have to necessarily bore you with a billion pixel strokes that I can grind through in my own reality alone. I don't have to bore you with it, but this is what we're doing right now, and we got about 20 minutes left to do it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up the session here with this. Just give you a taste of what I'm in for. Oh yeah. This is the glory and the glamour of creating art. We're at 35 pixels, and basically every time I'm doing another row of these, I'm increasing the pixel size by either none or 5, one or the other, depending on how much I flow through. But we're slowly increasing the size of the pixels as we draw closer to the camera here. Like we're at 35 pixels right now, and after I do like this in another row, I'll probably change it to 40 pixels. Super subtle. Inconsequential, but it's the process. The information is actually layering that way, so it's, even if we aren't necessarily picking up on it directly, it is happening. So the information is there. It's just a matter of whether we're able to consciously see it or not. Depends on the mass of how we're laying down the ink, but we know that it's there. We're doing the diligence. Make sure that it's being done right. And that's all that's really important. So we're gonna dot at that. Then add in another layer. Erase. I'm going to smudge and push up. Blend in a little bit on the bottom here. A little horizontal blending. So bring that in. That feels really good. That feels really good. Another layer. At 40 pixels. Just a little bit more gap here, and we got this faded path that we put in, and that creates a God, yeah, this is gonna look really good. Upping the size to 45. Down to 30 back here. I'm gonna dot at this with a bit of an eraser here. And we'll blend. And lift up. Another layer. Take it to 50. See the pockmarkedness of these gray grass blades that we put in here as a base texture. It's got all these little pockmarks in it, and then we have these shoots that are growing up from that. It actually kind of blends together. It's like each of these little hollow spaces in the soil here looks like it's where these plants are sprouting from. These two brushes layer together really nicely for this field effect. Dot a little bit, smudge it down. That's so irrelevant because of the amount of text that's there, but we know it's there. The actual frame of the painting is breaking right about here. but we'll have even less than that when we drop in. Like here's our frame for the actual text to work with it. You can see most of that little detail work that we're doing is being lost because of the page composition. If I needed to, I could reduce the size of the illustration as a whole. Like I could, if I wanted to, I could drop it back like that to be able to show more of that off. But I don't need to make that decision right now. Disable the layer mask. We're doing more detail than the painting requires, which is good because we want to be able to slide back. And this will be the last layer that we do here. There you go. And we'll go down to a 20 point pixel here and just start doing the same thing back here. Welcome to hell. A million little pixel strokes. This is going to get covered with rosemary bushes in the foreground. Again, here's our composition. So most of these details aren't really important, but I want them in there because it's part of the composition. This is the environment. These are the things. These are the things that exist in the deal. Smudge those, grab them, pull them down. It's obnoxious, but these techniques are really easy. So it's just stippling down the line, you know, and it's not difficult to do. Increase the pixel size here a smidge. Stuff is not difficult to do. It just takes a little bit of time to layer it in, but it's worth it. It's just an added little touch that your eye, when your eye sees it, it's gonna make note, it's gonna catalog it, and then it's just going to fill in details as we go. Again, we're just hinting at things that's good enough for your eye to go, that okay, I understand what you're doing there, and then it'll start feeding in those details for us as we go through the composition. That's what we want to do. We're hijacking your optic center of your brain to cheat details in for us. Because we can use the same. Sorry, it should be like this. See, we can add in these little shoots like this when we get closer to when we get further forward in the foreground. We can use this effect to create these layers of detail that your eye will just push back into these, it'll acknowledge in the foreground that, oh, this is the type of texture that we have, and then it's going to link the color of this vegetation in with that texture, and it's going to, your eye will pretend that detail exists back here in this background. So we're hijacking your optic center of your brain to make assumptions for us to do the work. And this stuff makes a really good transition from the tree background to the fields. It's a similar texture, different colors, so it's really easy for the eye to graduate from one to the next, and the shift in contrast is indicating another layer of detail that pushes, and of course those layers of detail push the eye forward in the composition towards the foreground, closer space. So these things all just kind of fold together really nicely. Grab and drag just to sink this stuff into the terrain. Lift it up a little bit to break past the horizon line. Drop down, push up, drop down. Push up, drop down, push up. Push up. Add another layer. Billion little stipples. Let's do merge down. I see you back there. There we go. And next layer. Put at 25 pixels instead of 20 for now. Have this layering over like this. Uh-oh. Looks like I'm just about out of time. Just a few more moments and we'll have to wrap up. But I'll probably spend an hour or so tonight layering these pixels. Assuming that everything goes according to plan. I should have an hour or so tonight to do this. Still got a lot to do. Luckily, I don't mind the effort. This has been just such a ridiculously long project. I am not looking forward. I am not looking forward to doing another adventure of this size anytime soon. This was a monster for me to tackle, and it's really pushing my endurance a lot. So I am not anxious to dive into another one of these anytime soon. But character and like mechanical options are so much easier because you don't have to worry about, like, it's what's so important about adventures is page placement, making sure that the information on the page, the maps, the illustrations, the actual descriptive text is all connected. And a cohesive thought, like a singular cohesive thought that's gelling and working together. Because you want to, like, if you're showing a map on a page, you want to reference and talk about that map on that page. So it requires a lot more coordination of material and concepts to fit inside that space together. It's a much more difficult composition than anything else I have to worry about doing. So it's murderous, absolutely fucking murderous. But I do love the result. I mean, it's been a joy to create, and it's a project of endurance, obviously. But you know, it's a long labor. I think I'm going to love the baby when it's born. Let's fade that out a little bit in the background here. Like what an inconsequential detail. It's going to take time for me to layer in, but it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. That's the whole point. I've still got like 10 minutes. I can fuck around for a little bit longer. Do 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 do. And then another layer. Oof, yeah, do not want to do that. I had the wrong color going there for a second. Should be okay now. Just a billion stipples. I think I need to up my reference. Something, yeah, I think that's probably gonna work. Let's see if it does. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. So let's erase this a little bit. There we go. And then add in another layer. That might be a little bit more intense than I want. I'm gonna drop that down a smidge. There we go. Right now, all I need is texture. When we get into the foreground, we can start worrying about like tulips and stuff. More biodiversity as we move closer and closer. But for now, this is doing just fine. I'm gonna take this to here. And that's as far as we needed that to go. This is good. So now we just need to fill in this mid ground here. So let's bond these all together. Merge. And then we've got the home grass foreground here. We'll call this back grass. And drop that in. And then we've got home grass far left. And we got more home grass that we can now drop in from here to here. Stipple for days. How are we doing on time? 7:54? Okay. 7:54 here in Seattle. It's almost time for me to go do my day job. We'll be back tomorrow morning like usual. I suspect what's going to happen is Thursday night will be normal. Friday morning we'll be back, but then I won't have a Friday lunch because I'm going to probably be off barbecuing with friends and family. That could change, and if it does, I'm locking down plans and details tonight. So if my schedule is going to be different from that, I will let you guys know, because I know that's really important. Get over yourself, Gurney. Little pathway in here. I want to preserve that because it looks cool. See, it's the overall effect is really good. It's just all the little intimate details are difficult, but it's a small enough pixelation that even if you zoom in a little bit, it still reads true. Not bad. Not the best, but not bad. So again, panning out, looking at the overall composition, this is going to create a nice line of separation. Helps pull the houses forward a little bit. The dark backdrop. The lighter field color. The house is a nice middle ground between those two. Oh, nice. This is exactly where I need it to be. It's perfect. And then looking again at the composition. So once we get this stuff layered in, again, once we get to about here, yeah, once we get about there, that's when we're going to start we're going to change the texture and size of the brushes to have different type of foliage poking through here. So we can fill in basically this block here down to roughly like this is where I want to be with this background field stuff that we're working on. Dropping our text back in. Yep, and then we'll have, and then we'll only have a basically a thin strip like this that we have to worry about the actual field itself and like flowers and stuff. That's going to occupy roughly this space. And then like around here is where we're going to have foreground foliage, and then we'll have like some rosemary bushes like this popping up like that, roughly. Darker, a darker tone, like more like the tree line back here with highlights on those like little like bush flowers or whatever. So, and that'll end up capping all of this off. Like a lot of this back edge here stuff is just going to get hidden behind rosemary shrubbery, but I'm okay with that. We know it's back there. If there's any breaks in the shrubbery, we'll see accurate topography behind it, accurate landscape, and this will end up being a really fucking good composition. I think this is gonna look really, really good when we're done with it. We're not guaranteed yet, but it has a ton of potential. So I like how this is coming along. Anyone that's checking this stuff out with me, thanks a lot for going on the journey with me during all of this. We're going to be back tomorrow morning to continue working on it. I'm going to be back in about, it's almost 8 o'clock now, so in about typically around 2:30, in like 6.5 hours from now, is when I jump on for lunch. We'll be working on Strixhaven and Ravnica backgrounds converted into the 2024 mechanics, so that we can accurately build MTG characters using the 2024 rules, because we can't expect Wizards to ever go and revisit the Ravnica, Strixhaven, and Theros settings that they published for 2014. I don't think we're going to see anything new. We might see Innistrad in 2024. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. But that's it for now, guys. So thanks a lot for hanging out. If you think this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I've literally been doing this for years. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon, and we're just gonna keep doing stuff like this until God takes me home. So thanks a lot for being here. I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.